Today's yoga class is for everyone, including beginners. Please consult with your doctor before beginning this or any new exercise program. Yoga is a great way to increase flexibility and strength, reduce stress, and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Before we begin today, always listen to your body, do the poses that you are comfortable with, and rest as often as needed. Hi, I'm Lisa Simchison, and this is Lenore and Lindsay, and today we have a lovely and stretchy restorative class for you. So we have a few different props we're going to use. If you have a yoga bolster at home, we'll use this. If you don't, I'm going to show you how you can make one. Also some blocks or books or a box, anything you've got, and these aren't necessary. And then a couple of blankets. You can have as many blankets as you want. If you don't have a bolster, go grab a pillow and a towel, and Lindsay and I will show you how to make your own bolster. So we'll open up the towel all the way, and then take your pillow onto your towel and see if you can fold your pillow in half, holding it there like a little sausage. Start to roll that up in your pillow. Doesn't have to be perfect. Good. And now you have a homemade bolster. So you can just put that off to the side and we'll use it throughout this class. Awesome, so we're going to get started in a supported child's pose. So you can use your bolster or your homemade bolster and put it lengthwise on your mat. Take your knees a little bit apart so that your thighs come to either edge of your mat. Sit your hips back down onto your heels and stretch your torso forward, coming to rest on the bolster. Now you can look in either direction, or you can put your face straight down. You can let your arms rest by your side and just start to relax. Restorative yoga is about relaxing, releasing, and restoring. So you might notice as you hold these poses that things start to feel a little more tension before they relax. And that's completely normal. Allow your attention to focus on your breath. And let your exhale be a softening, a releasing into the bolster and into the mat. And if you notice your thoughts wandering, which they will, bring your attention back just to your gentle breath. Give yourself this opportunity to completely relax. We'll be holding these poses for about a minute or so each. Taking enough time to rest and relax. Take a nice deep breath in here. Feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, press yourself onto your hands and knees. And was that enough, or do you want a second homemade bolster as well?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So we'll come back behind our bolster or slide it forward just a little. And then from here, walk both of your knees towards the right edge of your mat so that you can drop your left hip to the floor. And we'll slide that bolster in so that it's touching our thigh, maybe even our hip. And from here, gently start to twist your torso so that you can fold your belly and your chest down onto the bolster. Again, you can look in any direction. Let your arms relax. And you can keep your knees stacked one on top of the other. Or you can see Lenore's lifted her top leg and she brought it back behind her in the same shape, which just helps to stretch out the hip flexor. And Lindsay, you can go ahead and do that too if it would feel good for your body. And close your eyes and just relax. And just like before, if you start to notice more tension right in the beginning, that's normal. See if you can send some breath into the areas that you feel that tension in. And then soften and relax, especially softening your face, your forehead and your eyes and your jaw. Take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, press yourself up to your hands and knees. And we'll move to the other side. Walk your knees to the left. Bring your right hip to the mat and slide that bolster in. When you're ready, twist your torso and bring your belly, your chest towards the bolster. Rest your cheek or your forehead, and your top leg can stay stacked or come a little bit behind you. So most of us spend our days in a state of stress. And even if you think you don't, you probably do. If you have a job and maybe a family, responsibilities of any kind, then there's always a little bit of stress in the background. Restorative yoga works to counteract that stress. It helps us come out of the fight or flight response in our body. It helps to soothe our nervous system. So even a short class of 30 minutes will have huge benefits in your life and in the way your body deals with stress. Let's take one more big breath in here into your belly. And as you exhale, press to your hands and knees. Good. And we'll turn the bolster widthwise on our mat. So this next one takes a little bit to get into, and we can have either a blanket, or if you have blocks handy, you can use a block. I'm gonna place both up here just in case I decide I want them. And for this one, we'll come onto our right side first, and we wanna put our side right on the bolster. From here, I'm gonna place that block there as a little pillow. We'll extend our right arm out right from the shoulder and rest our forehead on the block, or our side of our head on the block. You can keep your knees bent, or if it feels good, take the same legs we just had by releasing that one leg back, and you might have to straighten it instead of keeping it bent. From here, reach your left arm up to the sky and then over your head towards the floor behind you, and your fingertips might graze the floor. They might not touch, and that's okay. Just a nice side stretch here. And if you're uncomfortable in your hip or your waist, just adjust so that it is comfortable. If you find you don't need the block up so high, you can put it down or even get rid of it altogether. Close your eyes and see if you can relax down. Just settling in here to your breath. You might notice that your fingers maybe start to get that tingly sensation like pins and needles, and see if you can just stay with it. Good. From here, we'll bring that left hand behind our head, fingertips behind our head with our elbow bent, like we're going to do bicycle crunches. And then nice and slowly start to rotate your elbow open so your chest will start to point towards the sky. If you need to adjust the block to be a little more supportive, go ahead. And you should feel a nice stretch through your armpit, into your pecs. And everyone will be able to open up a little bit more or less depending on their own bodies. You can close your eyes. Just taking nice deep breaths into the side of your body. Take one more nice deep breath in. And slowly bring that elbow back, coming back to center. And we'll press up onto our hands and knees so we can set up on the other side. Take your time coming down onto the bolster, finding the right position for your body. On your left side, extend your left arm straight out from the shoulder. Bring your head onto the block or pillow. Your legs can stay stacked, or you can extend that top one straight back. Once you've found a comfortable position for your torso, lift your right arm up and over towards the top of your mat, and you can let your fingers dangle. And close your eyes. And start to relax here. At any time, if something feels just too much for your body, you can always back off a little bit. We don't want to go all the way to the edge of our stretch here. We just want to be able to relax into it and allow a little bit of softness. Just a couple more breaths here. Go ahead and bring your right fingertips behind your head like you're going to do a crunch with your elbow open. Then slowly start to rotate your chest open. If that creates too much of a stretch with your hip flexor, with your right leg extended, bend your knee and stack your knees back on top of each other. Letting gravity kind of gently pull that right arm down. Send your breath to the side of your body. Take one more nice deep breath in here. And gently come on back to center. You can release your hand to the floor and press yourself up. Good. And we'll just move the block or the pillow off to the side. And we'll place the bolster again lengthwise. So we're gonna lie all the way down on the bolster for a bit of a chest opener. So we'll turn around so that we can sit right against the bolster. And you'll go ahead and lie back down and open your arms out to the side. Now you can keep your knees bent depending on the flexibility in your spine. You can keep your knees bent with your feet on the floor. You could also take resting butterfly with your feet together and your knees dropping open. And the last variation is to extend your legs straight down. Let your upper body get heavy. Let your arms be heavy. Let your chest open and spread here. Beautiful. Take 2 more breaths here, filling up towards the back of your body. Feel your rib cage expand into the bolster. Just creating a little more space. And you can gently bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. And roll to your side, coming right off the bolster and just resting on the floor for a moment. And press yourself up to a seat. And we'll move the bolster off to the side and grab our blankets. So we'll use 2 blankets for this next pose, the next 2 poses. And we'll take our blankets so they're open to be kind of like a rectangular shape, and stack them one on top of each other. If you have a really thick blanket, you might only need 1. These blankets aren't as thick, so we're gonna use 2. And then we'll roll these blankets into a tiny little bolster. And we'll place this bolster about 3/4 of the way up our mat. And when we lie down, we want the bottom of our shoulder blades to rest on this blanket. So we'll turn around, and you might have to adjust once you get here, but we'll lie back so that our chest, our shoulder blades, the bottom of our shoulders, and our rib cage is on that bolster. Arms can come out to the side or make goalposts. You can bend your legs or straighten them, or maybe you can try having one leg straight and one leg bent for a few breaths, and then switch. It's another nice deep chest opener. Many of us sit at our desks and we have a bit of a forward rounding in our shoulders. So these poses help to counteract that. They help to open that up and create some space in our chest, in our rib cage, even into our hips if we have tight hips. So see if with your breath you can relax a little bit more. Let your body get a little heavier into the floor. Good. Place your feet on the floor and bend your knees. Push your feet into the floor and lift your hips enough so that you can use your hands and slide that blanket bolster all the way down until it's at your tailbone or your sacrum, your hip area. And you might have to adjust a couple times to find the best area for your body. And then you can lower your hips back down. And you have the same leg options, bent legs, extended legs, or one of each for a few breaths. And this is going to help stretch out your lower back, but especially your hip flexors if you straighten your legs. Again, coming back into your breath if thoughts and distractions arise. Just allowing your breath to kind of wash away any tension, any distractions, anything that's not serving you in this moment. Great job. Nice and gently bend both knees and bring your feet to the floor. Push your feet down and lift your hips up so you can remove that blanket. Lower your hips back down and just pause there for a moment. Give your spine just a second in neutral. And you can nice and gently roll to your side and press yourself to a seat, taking lots of time to get there. Nice work. And then we'll set up for our next pose, which we'll need one blanket for. And we'll fold the blanket up so that we can sit on it comfortably, so it lifts our tailbone a little, lifts our sit bones and our hips. And we'll use our bolster for this one as well. And maybe the other blanket, depending on how flexible we are or aren't today. So with our bolster, we'll take our legs wide, bring the bolster inside of our legs. And then the real magic happens by bringing our feet onto the bolster. And for many of us, this is going to be enough of a stretch in your hips. If it feels like you've got more space, really slowly, without using your arms, you can start to fold forward. If you get close to your feet, you could use a block as a pillow. You could use a blanket. And if you're sitting up tall thinking, oh my gosh, this is the craziest stretch ever, then don't worry about folding forward. Always listen to your body. The idea is to allow your upper body to relax, which creates a little bit of weight in your hips, a little bit of resistance, allowing them to open a little bit deeper. And you might notice as we hold this that you can find a little more space with every breath. And you might notice that that's not the case either, and that's okay. Wherever you are in this pose, just stay with your breath. And try as hard as you can to relax. Instead of squeezing everything in to hold on tighter, see if you can release those muscles to get in a little deeper. We'll take 3 more deep breaths here, not rushing them, taking lots of time. Maybe seeing if you can go a little deeper on that last breath. And after your 3 breaths, nice and slowly press yourself up. Gently, one at a time, remove your feet off the bolster and just move it off to the side. And extend your legs straight out in front of you. Give them a little shake. And we'll inhale to reach our arms up and exhale to fold forward, reaching again towards your toes. You don't have to fold very far. This is just a bit of release after that hip stretch. Good, and we'll sit all the way back up. You can remove that blanket from underneath us. And we'll keep our bolster close by, and maybe a blanket if you want to cover up. And we'll go ahead and lie down on our backs. So you can lie down flat on your back for now. And just put the bolster to the side. And hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a nice big squeeze. And whichever side your bolster is on, actually let's put our bolster on the right side, then we'll all be in sync. Right beside your hip. You can extend your right leg and keep your left knee hugging into your chest. Then use your right hand to twist your knee across your body onto the bolster. So it's a little supported twist. You might have to shimmy your hips over. And if you're doing this with someone and you're close to them and touching, that's okay. Just smile. Maybe give them a little love tap. And then come right back into your nice, gentle breathing. Good, nice and gently come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. And you can go ahead and take your bolster to the other side, to the left side of your body. And you can extend your left leg down your mat. And then using your left hand, twist your right knee all the way across until it comes to rest on your bolster. Your right arm can come out to the side, and you can turn your head to look in that direction if it feels good. If it doesn't feel really good for your neck, then look in a direction that does. And close your eyes, settle in. Come back into center, hug your knees to your chest. And we'll set up for our final pose, our shavasana. And this one, we'll take the bolster and place it widthwise across our mat under our legs. So hopefully you don't have to move too much to do that. You can place it under your knees or even under your calves or your thighs, whatever is most supportive for you. And then let your legs completely relax. You can use a blanket as a pillow. You could cover up here. If you have a little eye bag, you could cover your eyes. With your eyes closed, take a nice deep breath in and out. And start to let the features in your face soften even more. So your eyebrows spread apart a little wider, removing any creases. Feel your jaw completely get heavy and relaxed. Feel the muscles in your neck and your shoulders sink down into the floor. Let your arms get a little heavier. Feel your back sink deeper into the mat and all the muscles in the back of your body completely release. And allow your chest to relax. Feel your collarbones spread a little bit. And then let go of the muscles holding your belly in. Just kind of let it all hang out. Feel your hips relax and all the big muscles in your legs. Let your feet flop out to the side. And today we're going to stay here as long as you want. So if this is not long enough for you, please feel free to stay in this pose forever. For as long as you'd like. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Namaste.
Location for this episode of Awakened Yoga provided by Lacey Holmes. To contact Lisa, you can visit awakenedyoga.ca.